so excited to be here and talk more about the great things that are taking place in space.
Well, and that's something that we ended up. Our format is generally that we're talking to helping professionals who people don't generally think of as helping professionals. And sort of highlighting their heart toward what they do, if that makes sense. But yeah, we didn't really get much of a chance to really delve into what it is you're doing and your passions around that. And so I'm going to just kind of highlight that you are playing an active leadership role in the United Nations Space Women, Women's Tech Network, Islamic World Educational, Scientific, and Cultural Organization, and that's the CESCO, World Business Angels Investment Forum, the World WBAF rather, the Global Women's Leadership Committee, the GWLC, New York University Global Policy Insights, Global Policy Diplomacy and Sustainability Fellowship Program, and among others. And so the list just kind of goes on, and there's a lot of passion that goes into like your involvement in all of these types of things. So I definitely wanted us to get a chance to delve more into that, like why you're doing those types of things. And of course we had to come back and have a little lemon loaf.
Well, I love the lemon loaf, so thank you so much for that. And we also talked about chocolate tea, which is new me and fantastic as well. So so your tea connoisseurs are right here.
Right.
One of the things we talked about during our last episode was that I learned that growing up and being an only child, I'm really a joiner. I did theater, I did debate, I played tennis, I played track. I guess I did track. I don't know if you play track.
Ran track.
And that tendency to be a joiner has continued as an adult. So you read off a lot of things, but ultimately they all have a similar theme. One is a lot of the roles I'm in is I believe in being a mentor and giving back. So I was so fortunate in my career, military, space, not necessarily a lot of women. I mean, I remember people saying, do you know what's it like being the only woman in the room? And you kind of go, I didn't really notice that until you pointed it out. So I had a lot of mentors who helped develop me and coach me, and I would not be where I am today if it hadn't been for them. So I have a real drive to give back. And also a lot of the organizations like ISESCO, the Islamic World Educational, Scientific, and Cultural Organization, has 54 member countries all throughout the world. And the goal is a lot of times other countries are not part of the space ecosystem. So the real passion is it's not only gender, men and women, it's also geography. How are we making sure all countries, all citizens are going to benefit from space technology so nobody's left behind?
And cultures too.
Exactly.
And I think that's very, when we hear words like Islamic or what have you, we sometimes will attach to that this idea of religion, and it very much is. Islam is a religion, but there are a lot of cultural aspects that go along with that, cultural aspects that are inbred in or are ingrained in a traditionally Judeo-Christian, Buddhist, other types of underpinnings all over the world. And so that's very interesting that it's very integrated, I think, or holistic. And I'm excited to hear more about that.
Well, I will share with you that ISESCO, Islamic World Educational, Scientific, and Cultural Organization, is just like UNESCO, the UN. Yeah. So it's about the science, and they're passionate about bringing more girls into the career fields. But we also partner with the Organization of American States, which is the 34 countries in the Americas. And they've also brought in Germany and Israel into that Organization of American States. And we're also partnering with the African Union, which is standing up the African Space Agency, which is 55 countries. And you and I talked about my favorite place to travel is Africa. So I'm really excited about Africa standing up an African Space Agency as all the countries throughout Africa are embracing space.